Mark, 5 minutes until airtime here on the Appalachian Sports Network until our Coaches Show broadcast. Your next time cue will be with 4 minutes until airtime. Mark, 4 minutes until airtime here on the Appalachian Sports Network until our Coaches Show broadcast. Your next time cue will be with 3 minutes until airtime.
He's got to play him.
Mark, 3 minutes until airtime on the Appalachian Sports Network until our Coaches Show broadcast. Your next time cue comes with 2 minutes until airtime. Mark, 2 minutes until airtime here on the Appalachian Sports Network until our Coaches Show broadcast. Your next time cue will be with 1 minute until airtime. Mark, network stations, we are 1 minute until airtime on the Appalachian Sports Network until our Coaches Show broadcast. Studios, please start your archive recording. Stations, if you encounter any technical issues during today's broadcast, please call the Appalachian State Studio Hotline at area code 336-831-0827. Coming up on 30 seconds until airtime, Mark, 30 seconds until airtime. Once again, stations, if you encounter any issues during the broadcast, please call the App State Studio Hotline at 336-831-0827. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Appalachian Sports Network.
This is Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge and hosted at River Street Ale House on the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield. Your weekly inside scoop on App State basketball. Mountaineer Talk is also brought to you by Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, the official soft drink of your App State Mountaineers. And by UNC Health Blue Ridge, moving healthcare forward together. Now, to get things started, here's your host, Matt Present.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Mountaineer Talk here at River Street Ale House. Glad to have you with us across our radio dial, in person and on Facebook Live this evening. Loaded show to get to you here tonight, and two programs playing really well. Both teams tied for third place in the Sun Belt standings, so we'll get into that here tonight. Alonzo, Dodd alongside will kick off the show. Dustin, Kerns to follow, and then on the women's side, we will have Rylan, Moffitt, and head coach Alaura Sharp coming your way at the bottom of the hour. If you've got a question for any of them, plenty of ways to get in touch with us here tonight. You can use the hashtag Mountaineer Talk on Twitter. Reach out via email, mountaineertalk@gmail.com, or by phone. You can text or leave a voicemail, 828-295-2063, 828-295-2063, or just drop a comment on our Facebook live stream. All right, Alonzo, Dodd kicking off our show tonight, and Zoe, a win on Saturday, earning a split on the road this week, 3-1 road trip, and you've now won 5 of 6. What's the vibe right now, having such a successful stretch in the middle of conference play?
The vibe's good. We play together confident. We play practice together confident. So just coming into practice, with good vibes. We're obviously on a tough win streak or a good win streak. We're playing together, so it's always good vibes.
You talk about playing together, and you're one of the newcomers on a team that has a lot of newcomers. What is the process of figuring out how to play together when you're new to a group and there's a lot of new faces to kind of figure things out and build that chemistry with?
Just sticking with it. Like you said, we're all pretty much a new team. We've been together since summer, so just sticking with each other, believing in each other, playing through each other. We all have confidence in each other. That's kind of the big thing. Like, just have confidence in one another, that they're going to make the right play, and it seems like we always do.
We'll get into your journey to Boone here in a moment, but let's talk about your play on the court as of late. You've started 9 in a row. Talk about how your role on this team has evolved throughout the season.
The way my teammates and my coach believe in me, it just gives me the confidence to go out there and do whatever I can to do, or whatever I can, whether that's defense, offense, make shots, just bring energy. I know my teammates got me, and they always strive for me to be the best version of myself.
All right, so you begin your college career at Texas A&M Commerce. Let's start there for a moment. What was it like joining a team in its very first season of Division I basketball?
I'm not sure. It was kind of like a new feeling, I guess. Just bringing new energy, new vibe to the school. It was kind of – everything was just new. The coaches was the same, but just the environment. It was kind of taking that big step, and it felt good to be on that stage.
And now coming here to Boone a couple years later via the transfer portal, and as you entered the portal and decided to seek a new destination, what was it that caught your attention about Boone and about App State?
When I was watching film with my uncle, I just kind of seen everybody playing confident. I seen the coaches giving confidence to the players. I seen one shot by Miles, and I think he might have missed it, but just the coaches, the way they picked him up, lifted him up, and just I wanted to be a part of that.
What's it like playing alongside Miles? Because you guys are both handle some point guard, lead guard duties, and at times you share in the responsibilities of being that off-ball guard as well.
Man, it's special. Me and Miles have created a special connection throughout these past few months that we've been playing with each other, and just figuring out each other has been awesome. I mean, he's one of the best. Like I said, I forgot what game it was, but he's one of the best players in the country. So he's definitely fun to play with, especially when late game, give him the ball, just watch him. Like you can't do nothing but smile. So that's what I do. I just smile, laugh at it. We have fun together, we play throughout each other's confidence.
You and the rest of us, right?
Yeah.
Not only did you play basketball in high school, and you had a record-breaking career at South St. Paul, over 2,000 points, all over the record books, but you also played football.
Yeah.
What was Alonzo Dodd's game like on the football field?
Kind of the same. I played every position for my high school, whether that was quarterback, running back, wide receiver, kick return, DB, wherever the ball was going, I was going there. So if it was a pass play, I was going to wide receiver. But I mean, I don't know. I've been playing football since I was 4. I started basketball when I was 5, so that was kind of my first sport, and I kind of just fell in love with basketball more.
And you're a Vikings fan, right?
Yeah.
You guys had a pretty good year.
Yeah, yes, sir. We had a good year, but it didn't end how we wanted, but it's all right.
So what are they doing at quarterback next year?
I don't know. I think I don't know. I gotta ask people back home because.
All right. Well, you got a chance earlier this season not to play right at home, but to play somewhat close to home with the trip to Wisconsin, probably as close as you've been during your college career. What was it like to get back to that region and to be able to see some friends and family?
Yeah, it was great. Like you said, that's my first time being within, I think, even like 8 hours of home. So just coming back or going there and seeing a lot of family. I think there was like 30 people there, driving 4 hours, just seeing how much they cared for me. And it kind of gave me more confidence than what I had before, just to know that they're there for me. And I think that's kind of what sparked the little run I'm on.
You talked about watching film with your uncle. When you watch film on your own, separate from the team, what are the things that you're keyed in on? How do you think about the game when you watch film?
Just people's tendencies. I like to watch like what they're doing, what they like to do, what they don't like to do, things like that. And then if I'm watching film on myself or the team, I watch a lot of film with Coach Young, like just things I can improve on, things that I could have made a different play. So just learning from film and then doing it the next game.
Off the court here in Boone, what have you enjoyed the most about your time here in the high country?
Just hanging out with the guys. I don't really do much. I'm pretty much in the house, but they kind of get me out the house and just hanging around with them. CJ, Miles, Jaleel, Jason and Ant, 2 freshmen, they're hilarious. But just hanging around with them, that's probably my favorite.
Well, it's awesome to see you guys building chemistry not only on the court but also off the court. Appreciate you joining us here tonight on Mountaineer Talk.
Appreciate it.
Alonzo Dodd, ladies and gentlemen, kicking off our show tonight. It's brought to you by UNC Health Blue Ridge, moving healthcare forward together. Hey, Mountaineers, Alumni Hall is the official online store of App State Athletics. Stop by the latest and largest selection of App State apparel, hats, Yeti, and all your game day gear, including brands like Nike, by visiting Alumni Hall on King Street, or shop anytime at appstatesports.com or alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, the ultimate Mountaineer shopping destination. We'll hear from head coach Dustin Kerns right after this as Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, continues right after these messages.
Is more than the sum of its parts in sports and in life. At Blue Ridge Energy, we share the same commitment to excellence as the Appalachian State men's and women's basketball teams. That's why we'll never stop working to provide the energy solutions your family needs and the community deserves. Blue Ridge Energy is proud to be part of the community, proud to be part of App Nation, and proud to partner with App State. Together, we're powering a brighter future. Go Mountaineers!
Covering App State University takes the strongest wireless service in the area. With Carolina West Wireless, Mountaineers get the most reliable coverage on campus and across the country with our award-winning high-speed nationwide network. We offer the latest devices and technology at a great value with an exceptional local customer service experience that you deserve. Try us risk-free for 30 days. Carolina West Wireless is proud to be the official wireless provider of the Mountaineers.
We'll have more Mountaineer Talk right after these local messages on the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
What does it mean to be first for teaching? First, we listen. First, we engage. First, we recognize potential. You have what it takes: the drive, the smarts, and the heart to be the kind of educator who changes and inspires lives. 2 million kids are waiting for you, but first, your journey starts right here. Be first. Be an App State teacher. Learn more at firstteach.appstate.edu.
Hey Mountaineer fans, did you know UNC Health Caldwell proudly serves the high country by providing services like women's health, primary and urgent care, cancer care, spine care, urology, and more? When you or a loved one receives care at UNC Health Caldwell, count on compassionate patient-centered care from a skilled team of healthcare providers. For more information on healthcare services from Blowing Rock to Hickory, visit www.caldwellmemorial.org.
Welcome back to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. Now for more App State Hoops talk, here's Matt Present.
Welcome back to the show. Head coach Dustin Kerns with us here on Mountaineer Talk. His comments presented tonight by Blue Ridge Energy, powering a brighter future. And coach, I know after the game on Sunday you were happy with the win and happy to get back home. I know it had been a long stretch on the road. What's that feeling like after 2 weeks grueling on the road, some tough games that you're fighting through, and you come out 3-1, not only to have that success, but have that energy coming back home?
Yeah, it's people don't realize, we were gone 8 out of the last 12 days, and that's hard on our families. We've got coaching staff with wives and young kids, and that could be tough on our wives and kids. And so it was great to be back home and see our families, especially after going 3-1. It's great to be back here at the Ale House with our, Old Faithful fans here that come each week that we appreciate. And so it's just great to be back in the home center. It feels like it's been a while.
Yeah, big week ahead. We'll get to that coming up on the show. But first I want to talk about Alonzo Dodd, who kicked us off here tonight. And certainly when the transfer portal opens, I'm sure it's craziness, not only for the guys in it, but even more so for staffs trying to pick through and figure out which guys are of interest. As you identified him initially, what caught your eye most?
Well, there's so many different reasons now that you can transfer. For Alonzo, I thought he had a really, really good reason. Texas A&M Commerce is ineligible for the NCAA tournament in March Madness. He wants to be a part of that. Certainly he was a key contributor there. He was someone that I remember watching the film of him, really liked the way he played, really liked the way his ball skills were, liked his size, liked his shooting. And so we moved forward really quick with him. We got him on a visit and were able to wrap it up. I remember I picked him up at the airport, just me, and so we had a nice ride up the mountain there, and we were able to seal the deal on the visit. But he's been a great addition. On and off the court, great teammate, and has really been playing good basketball for us, and has been a big part of us winning 6 of our last 7 games. It's really, you can key it back to a couple things. One of those things is the emergence of Alonzo Dodd, and he just got lost in the competition, and has really been playing well.
He talked about his bond with Miles on the court. Certainly there is the chemistry between the two of them. There's also the X's and O's component of having 2 really strong ball handlers playing together. What can you explain about what that does and the kind of pressure that puts on opposing defenses?
Well, once again, it's a big part of, I think, reason we've had success lately is we've been able to move Miles off the ball some and free him up. Without just having to dominate ball handling so much, but also allow him to shoot. And we were able to do that because of Alonzo Dodd, right? And Alonzo's been a guy that's making, he has moved up the scouting report for our opponents. He's a guy that, at one point was shooting almost 60% from 3, and is really still percentage-wise shooting really, really well, makes his free throws, playmaking ability, all the above, right? He had a big play on Saturday to Dior Connors in the corner for a big 3 that really kind of, gave us a huge momentum shift to carry out that road win.
And from a guard position, he's also really rebounded it. What does it say about a guy who
had 9 rebounds on Saturday?
9 rebounds.
Well, he's become one of our best perimeter defenders, especially with ball screen stuff. He's been really physical. We've started really putting him on, key players for the other opponent, so that's been helpful as well. But once again, all the things of why a player is successful. Great teammate, great in the locker room. Everybody likes him. Everybody cheers for him. Works hard. And so just been a great addition to our program and a big part of our recent success.
Well, and you talk about the defense, and the defense continues to lead the way, and it continues to be 5 guys playing as one on the defensive end of the floor. You go on the road last week and you hold ODU to 43, you hold JMU to 50, and then on Saturday in the win at ULM, you hold them to 58 points in the ball game. That's now 21 consecutive wins for your program when holding an opponent shy of 60 points. What goes into that kind of success and to be able to replicate it and do it consistently?
Well, I'm not a math major. That's a pretty good stat, right? 21-0 in their last well, it's team defense, and that's something we preach. We get scored on. We give up the rebound. And I think that you can only, we talk about being unselfish. A lot of times that kind of talked about from an offensive thing. It's just as much defensively. Okay, when you're unselfish, you are willing to help your teammate. When you're unselfish, you're willing to go hit somebody and get a rebound. You're willing to rotate when you need to rotate. And it's really, him and our team is just playing really unselfish defense because they're willing to help each other out and defend as one. And when you've got 5 people defending as one, and there's nothing like, hey, well, that wasn't my guy while we got scored on. We have none of that. And it's we got scored on, and we didn't rotate. We didn't maybe get that loose ball. And when you have a group thinking that way, and everybody's really, pulling for one agenda, then you can really defend at a high level. One thing that we've tried to do in our 6 years here is we're willing to win different ways. If we need to score and get an up and down game, we can do that. If we need to grind it out, as coaches, we're just trying to figure out, put our players in the best position to win the game. And I think we've shown that we can win different ways, and this group has shown we can win different ways. We've won some games in the 80s this year. We've won some games, certainly in the 70s. But to go on the road and win a couple last week, we had to kind of grind it out, control the time of possession, and we did it. And it started with defense.
I opened up the segment talking about what it means for you to be back home, and certainly there's a lot of things we enjoy about sleeping in our own beds and seeing our family and whatnot, but I would also think there's a lot of value in the chemistry building on the road. What is it that you as a coach enjoy about those road trips and the time you get to spend with your players and your staff?
Yeah, well, I mean, our staff has great chemistry. We truly enjoy being around one another. Our team has great chemistry, great camaraderie, and it's really fun to watch those guys interact. Like, they truly enjoy hanging out with one another. And so there is some, these road trips can get really long, right? But you're with us, so you see it to be like, we truly try to have a good time together, do some fun things, and it makes it better. I mean, in the sense of, it's a big deal, right? Like, team chemistry, staff chemistry, those things are a big deal, and we've got both of those.
Just getting started here on Mountaineer Talk. We're going to take a timeout and have more with head coach Dustin Kerns right after this. It's Mountaineer Talk presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, and it continues right after these messages from Learfield.
What's up, sandwich heads? Today on Steve-O's Sandwich Reviews, we've got the tips and tricks to the best sandwich order. And it all starts with this little guy right here. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Partial to pastrami, craving a Cubano. Yeah, sounds delicious, but boom! Add the crisp, refreshing taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar and cue the fireworks. Lunch, dinner, or late night, it'll be a sandwich worth celebrating. Trust me, your boy's eaten a lot of sandwiches in his day, and the one thing I can say with absolute fact, every bite is better with Pepsi.
For over 60 years, Daniel Boone Inn has been serving Boone and the High Country delicious family-style meals to take you back to your grandma's table. Whether it's our family-style dinner with our signature fried chicken and country ham biscuits served with traditional Southern vegetables, or our classic Southern breakfast with such favorites as scrambled eggs, local country ham, biscuits and gravy, pancakes, and more, you're sure to feel right at home at the Daniel Boone Inn. So be sure to stop by in pregame, postgame, or let us prepare your next tailgate at the Rock.
Mountaineer Talk is back in 60 seconds after these local messages. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
Keep the winter temperatures outside with propane heat from G&B Energy. We're your local providers for cost-effective propane to heat your water, warm your home, and cook your meals, even if the power goes out. For a limited time, take advantage of rebates, like up to $350 in savings on select Cozy Heat fireplaces, up to $400 on select furnaces, and tankless water heaters starting at only $295. Visit gbenergy.com to learn more. G&B Energy, family-owned and North Carolina grown.
Hey, Mountaineer fans, it's game day, and Harris Teeter knows your party is just as important as the game. With mouth-watering wings, delicious dips, pre-ordered party platters to please any crowd, and not to mention the best pizzas, ribs, and ready-to-grill pub burgers in town. Only Harris Teeter can deliver delicious as you huddle up with family and friends to celebrate. Set a reminder to order ahead if you need party platters, and make Harris Teeter your pre-game stop before the next game. Harris Teeter, where Mountaineer fans shop for their delicious game day.
You're locked in to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, talking all things App State basketball. Let's rejoin your host, Matt Present.
Welcome back to Mountaineer Talk here at River Street Ale House in Boone, or wherever you might be picking us up, Facebook Live or across the Appalachian Sports Network. Glad to have you with us here on this Monday evening, continuing our conversation with head coach Dustin Kerns. And you made an interesting point during our last segment when you talked about time of possession. And I think when people hear that term in sports, they think football and they think drives that are eating up time off the clock. But certainly there's a lot of that kind of strategy to basketball. How do you go into games thinking about the length or quantity of possessions that are best for your team for that given night?
Well, it's been good for our team, all right, because I think that right now we've been hard to score on. All right, and then if we earn the stop and we go down and we quit, we do want to score off our defense, and there are times where we are scoring quickly, which is good, and we need some of those. But if we just come down after a stop and everybody's worked hard to get that stop and we take a quick bad shot, now you're going to have to come down and guard again because, once again, we're not easy to score on, so teams aren't scoring on us very quickly. And now we're playing defense for a minute and playing offense for maybe 14 seconds. That's not what we want, right? We do want to take quick opportunities. We do want to score in transition. We do want to score off our defense. It's just the right plays. And there's also a time where we want to make them guard and wear them out. And I think we've been doing a good job of that lately and been pretty efficient.
You talk about that defense, 8th nationally in field goal percentage, 10th in scoring defense in the country, and you're up to number 2 in the nation in defensive three-point percentage. We've talked about last segment and at length this season about what goes into playing team defense, but I'm interested in particular about that three-point defense because it feels like as analytics become more and more prevalent, teams are shooting more and more threes. How much do you feel like kind of that analytics game is playing into your hands because it's a strength of your defense?
Yeah, there's some programs out there that are trying to play the math game a little bit, right? And I think it starts off with our players have done a really good job of knowing personnel. And so we have closed out the people the right way, which helps our team defense. For example, if we close out to somebody the wrong way and we get a blow-by, now we really have to help over, which creates a little bit of a domino. Right? And now we are in a disadvantage. So we haven't really been in a disadvantage very much because our guys are diving into personnel and closing out to guys the right way, which is, avoided scramble situations for our defense. So your defense is able to stay intact and stay solid, all right, which really helps. Any offense, we try to get teams scrambling and then make the plays and things like that. So there's a lot that goes into it. I think that those are some great stats, and I do think that defense travels. Defense is not a hot and cold thing. Sometimes we're going to make shots, we're going to miss shots, but we've got to make sure that we can still defend, well enough to win. And then when we do shoot well, now you're going to have some like James Madison at home where you just really have you score 80-some points and you got a big lead, right? But we've got to stay consistent with our defense and maybe certainly give ourselves a shot to win regardless of how we're shooting. At the end of the day, defense is a huge part of it. There hasn't been a team playing the NCAA tournament, I think, in the last 7 years that hasn't been in top 3 in their regular season in defense, and that helps our guys buy into it. It just puts yourself in position to do what we all want to do.
Couple Sun Belt games going on tonight due to weather postponements. I'm just curious, when you're on the couch and you've got a break and you're watching basketball, whether it be other Sun Belt teams or just sampling the top 25, are you able to go into fan mode at all, or are you always seeing that game through the lens of what you would do schematically as a coach?
Yeah, like I'll check scores and stuff, but I don't really watch. Like tonight I was watching Old Dominion last night. I'll watch more Old Dominion tonight. I'll check the scores, but I won't watch those games. My son here, Riggs, will play. We got Super Mario, Odyssey and all that, and we'll play some of that as quote, some free time. But when they go back to bed, I'm right back to Old Dominion, and I'll stay Old Dominion until Thursday morning. And so that just kind of helps me stay centered and focused. But if I do, like when we got home Saturday, I was watching Tennessee-Auburn. I watch a little bit of both. Watch as a fan of the game, but also I like to see what, those teams are doing and things like that. Speaking of Auburn, number 1 in the country, and they're having a great season again.
Yeah, Bruce Pearl on College Game Day, I thought this was interesting. You don't have to respond to this, but he made a comment about how they've played the toughest non-conference schedule in the nation this year, and I thought that was awfully interesting.
Yeah, I mean, certainly I appreciate Coach Pearl bringing Auburn to Boone. No one else has done it, and so I appreciate him doing it, and certainly that was a great moment for our program, and we've got to go back down to Auburn again sometime soon here.
Let's hope so. All right, busy week on tap. You mentioned Old Dominion Wednesday at 6:30 and then Georgia State on Saturday at 1 as part of a doubleheader. What's the messaging to the team this week, especially as you go up against an ODU team that you've seen once already?
Yeah, well, this is the second time we've seen an opponent, right? And so we already seen James Madison twice. We talked to our team today about James Madison came out and played better and harder and with more fire in their eyes the second time. We've got to expect the same from Old Dominion. Old Dominion has won on the road at Louisiana. They've won on the road at South Alabama. And so they just won their last game. They're a team that's 4-4. And so we have to expect them to play better and hungrier than they did the first time. And so it's a reset. Let's treat it like this is the first time we've seen them, and go from there. And then I said it last week, I'm going to say it again. I mean, women's basketball 7-2. All right, get out and support them. They're doing awesome. Coach Sharp and her staff and players. And so we expect they play Thursday, Saturday. We Wednesday, Saturday. Expect a huge crowd all those days, especially on Saturday in a doubleheader.
Absolutely, Coach. Appreciate the time. Go enjoy some Mario Party.
All right, yeah. Go Mountaineers. Take the stairs.
And Coach Dustin Kerns alongside here on Mountaineer Talk. We will shift gears and talk about that very successful women's program right after this as Mountaineer Talk presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge continues right after this.
More than the sum of its parts in sports and in life. At Blue Ridge Energy, we share the same commitment to excellence as the Appalachian State men's and women's basketball teams. That's why we'll never stop working to provide the energy solutions your family needs and the community deserves. Blue Ridge Energy is proud to be part of the community, proud to be part of App Nation, and proud to partner with App State. Together, we're powering a brighter future. Go Mountaineers!
Mountaineer fans love driving Subarus from Modern Subaru of Boone. And when you buy with Go Modern, you can choose your vehicle, value your trade, pick your payments, apply for credit, even complete your entire purchase online. Or just do the parts you want and pick up where you left off at the dealership. Go Modern puts you in control so you can buy where you want, when you want, and how you want. Get started at modernsubaruofboone.com. Proud supporter of App State Athletics.
We'll have more Mountaineer talk right after these local messages on the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
This winter, escape to Boone, North Carolina. Nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains, Boone offers snow-covered adventure paired with cozy mountain lodging. Shred pristine slopes, enjoy the thrill of snow tubing, or stroll the glowing streets of downtown Boone with local shops, delicious dining, and endless options for creature comfort and wellness. So we ask, can you feel the Blue Ridge Mountains beckoning? If so, come, explore Boone.
App State's top-ranked online MBA is designed for you. It's a flexible, accredited, part-time program that works with your busy schedule and allows you to earn your MBA in 2 years. Learn online from the same faculty who teach on campus with the unmatched personalized interaction and support we're known for at Appalachian. Your App State MBA is within reach, wherever you are in life. Take the next step. Apply today for spring, summer, or fall admission at appstate.edu.
Welcome back to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. Now for more App State Hoops talk, here's Matt Present.
Welcome back to Mountaineer Talk as we shift our attention to the women's side of things. Rylan, Moffitt alongside, and they have been on fire. 7-2 start in conference play, their best in 13 seasons. Rylan, how much fun has this ride been here the last several weeks?
It's been awesome. Winning is obviously fun. Great start to sum up play. There was a moment that maybe it looked a little rocky, but something just clicked for our team, and we're having lots of fun, and we're winning games.
How do you try to explain that, what you describe as clicking, right? Like, what, if you look back on that moment or that stretch where things went from rocky to 7-2 in conference play, try to put your finger on it. What went into that turnaround?
I think some things started to click right as we went into Christmas break, and I think the click is just we bought in and motion offense started to work for us. We were running a new system for everybody pretty much on the team, and it's something we had to get used to, and it started to click after Christmas, I would say.
How would you describe what that learning curve is like as a returner to App State, but a newcomer to this coaching staff and their scheme and what they want to accomplish? What did you learn about the system? What is the process of learning something new like that on the fly?
I think for me, in the beginning, it was slowing down. I think all the returners can attest to that we just had to take a break, kind of let things develop, slow down our game, see the game in a new way, and that was a task at first, but it's paying off now.
What do you remember being your takeaways from your initial conversations with Coach Sharp? She's talked about the fact that she recruited a lot of this roster, but there are returners like yourself that were not recruited by her, and yet you've bought in and you've joined forces with the newcomers to create the success that you've had this season. What were those initial conversations like?
Coach Sharp was very confident at first. She knew what she wanted, and she went out and recruited really good people, so I have to give kudos to her and the rest of the staff. I enjoy my team, and she recruited 10 new players, and they're great people, so we've had a lot of fun with that.
Your role has been a little bit different this season than it was last season, but you've been incredibly productive and more efficient than ever in your career. How would you describe your role on this year's team?
I think facilitating at first, like getting my teammates open, and then things started to open up for me, and my shots developed, and I can stretch it out. So I think just having a lot of confidence in that, and that's what's changed.
You mentioned stretching it out. You've expanded your shooting game as well to some three-point shots. It wasn't a part of your game last year. It now is a part of your game. Speak to that expansion, but also the fun that you take in being able to let loose from three.
Yeah, I think I've always shot the three, just not something that I did last year, and I enjoy doing it. I've worked on it in individual workouts, and it's something that I'm confident doing. And when I get the right one, it falls.
You mentioned to me before we got on the air that today was an individual workout day. It's late January now. What are the types of things that you're working on individually at this juncture of the season where so much of the rest of the week is devoted to scouting a specific opponent?
Yeah, so Mondays we do individual work, which has been really fun for us. It's been really good for us. So Mondays would come in after an off day on Sunday, and we do individual type stuff, situational after that. But me and number 20L, we work out together with Coach Rabin, and we have a ton of fun. We shoot the ball. We do a lot of post moves and stuff because that's basically we balance each other on the court. So working out together, working on our skills in the paint, and then on the perimeter as well.
I think it's got to be a good thing. I'm looking at your coach right now. When a player says that she's having fun during individual workouts, what makes it so fun?
Honestly, me and Elle, we probably have the most fun individual group with Coach Rabin. We know how to crack jokes, but we get our job done and get in and get out. 25 minutes of work max. But I think that we just enjoy being there together, so that's what makes it fun.
Outside of basketball, what have you enjoyed most about your time in Boone?
Just spending time with my teammates. I really enjoy this group this year, and then getting out, and whether we go get food or whatever we do, we have a lot of fun together.
And what are you studying in school?
Exercise science.
Okay. What does that look like long term once basketball is over?
I plan to go to a chiropractic program, 2-year program after this. So once I get my undergrad, I'll be able to do that.
Well, that's awesome. Best of luck to you in that endeavor and to you the rest of the season. Thanks so much for joining us here on Mountaineer Talk.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Rylan Moffitt joining the show tonight. 7-2 in conference play. It's the best start since the 2011-2012 season, and they are playing some really good basketball, as Dustin Kerns said, and I'm sure Coach Sharp will echo coming up here in the next segment. Get out, watch them, cheer them on this week. 2 home games, 4 collectively at home at the home center this week. Since 1981, Mountaineer Mania has been Boone's one-stop shop for all of your App State gear. The largest selection of tailgating supplies, hats, and one-of-a-kind apparel. Mountaineer Mania has something for everyone. Alumni-owned and operated. Make sure your next trip to Boone includes a visit to Mountaineer Mania. They've got the largest selection of App State Nike products in town. Head coach Alaura Sharp with us right after this as Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, continues next.
Covering strongest wireless service in the area. With Carolina West Wireless, Mountaineers get the most reliable coverage on campus and across the country with our award-winning high-speed nationwide network. We offer the latest devices and technology at a great value with an exceptional local customer service experience that you deserve. Try us risk-free for 30 days. Carolina West Wireless is proud to be the official wireless provider of the Mountaineers.
Today we have 2 very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Mountaineer Talk is back in 60 seconds after these local messages. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
Window World, America's largest exterior remodeler and the official exterior remodeler of App State Athletics, provides exceptional quality windows, siding, doors, and more. They are headquartered right here in North Carolina and have enhanced over 100,000 homes across over 30 counties for over 25 years. Improving your largest investment with energy-efficient products and creating amazing curb appeal is what they do best. From the high country to the Triad and the Catawba Valley to Asheville and beyond. Call, click, or visit Window World, the official exterior remodeler of App State Athletics today.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
locked in to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, talking all things App State basketball. Let's rejoin your host, Matt Present.
Welcome back to Mountaineer Talk. Head coach Alaura Sharp with us here tonight. Her team off to a 7-2 start to Sun Belt play, tied for third in the conference. It's the best start since the 2011-2012 team that won the regular season SoCon title. Your first year at App State, how aware are you of the history and kind of where this start ranks?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you don't even pay attention to that stuff when you first get here because all you're focused on is just trying to get the program up off the ground. But, they've been kind of feeding us information over the course of the last little bit. But, we just want to stay focused on continuing to find what's important right now for our team to grow. And I met with kind of our leadership team that Rylan Moffitt is a part of today. And I told them, we still need to have the hunter mentality of even though there's 10 teams underneath that are drawing an X on our back and trying to hunt us a little bit. So I still think we need to keep that same mindset of being the hunter, being the underdog, and continuing to fight and scrap and find ways to improve as a group.
You talk about that leadership committee. What goes into kind of, I think sometimes leaders kind of show themselves to you as a coach, but building that collective group that you can trust and kind of be that intermediary between the staff and the rest of the team?
It's been one of the best things that we've decided to do as a coaching staff. I'm not a big captain type of coach, assigning people or so I kind of just let the leaders evolve, like you said, and I think anyone can be a leader whether they're in that group or not. But it was just something important that we started doing right after our College of Charleston game. We started meeting, and I think it's just helped bridge the gap. And, we were asking players to be leaders, and they just didn't really know what that meant in the moment. I think they think that it's almost like coaching on the court, but it's so many other things. It's being the echo voice. It's giving reminders. I feel like now when I go to our huddles, whether it's in practice or during games, players like Emily Carver, Rylan Moffitt, Zeta Porter, those players are saying all the things that I don't need to say. If there's effort that needs to be better, they're talking about it. So I'm able to just kind of walk in and coach X's and O's, and that's made a huge difference in our team.
Let's talk about Rylan Moffitt's game. She's, as we talked about, playing a different role than she was last year, but she, despite not being in the starting lineup, maybe playing a few minutes less than she was playing each game last year, has been more productive in terms of both raw numbers and averages. What is it like to see a player blossom in that role and give such a lift to your team coming off the bench?
She's one of the most important pieces on our roster. I mean, deserves to be in the starting lineup. I'm hoping she gets sixth man of the year. She deserves something like that. She doesn't care whether she starts, whether she plays 20 minutes, 30 minutes. She is L. Sometimes they sub in and out for each other. They're each other's biggest fan, biggest cheerleader. They work out together like she talked about. But Rylan Moffitt is the perfect motion player. I thought that when I was watching her film, and I kind of went back and watched some of her junior college film back when she did shoot the ball a little bit, and I remember having that conversation with her and seeing her shoot for the first time, and she has a beautiful shot. And we said, well, why didn't you? She said, well, they just didn't need me to. And so it's been kind of fun watching her confidence really grow and develop, and all of that stuff just takes time. But I feel like now Rylan has, just an unstoppable mindset. And I just can't ever say enough about how she leads, just being that glue player for us. And she just has so much toughness about her, and she brings our team to another level that way.
High praise, greatest motion player. What goes into that besides just having a good shot? What are the other components that come together and make her skill set so ideal for the system that you run?
Well, because she's an inside-outside player. She does a good job at the rim. She's a really good defensive rebounder. She can step out and shoot the three. She understands how to get action, but also how to keep space. And when things get cluttered, she has good court awareness. She's developed into a much better passer for us, too. It's been kind of fun to watch that part of her game to develop. But just that inside-outside game, I mean, she is so deadly in the mid-range, and a motion offense needs a player like that. It's not really an offense like everyone else runs where it's either three or rim. It's nice to have some players that are able to operate in 15 feet, and she's one of those.
What's the process when you come in, and obviously recruiting is near the top of your list, but you're also trying to figure out what you have already? And you mentioned going back and watching some of her JUCO tape. Like, what's the process in kind of digging in and trying to unlock something in someone's game?
Yeah. You know, when we were trying to recruit and see what we had, what we were inheriting, I've told the players this before. I studied them enough to be able to get the job at App State, right? So I could intelligently talk about them, but I also didn't want to put them in a box. So I didn't want to study them so much in the App State system, so that I already thought and had certain things about them. And so, went back and watched some of their older film at some of the other places that they had been, and I was familiar already with Emily Carver and Zeta Porter from recruiting them in the past, and so. But you just want to see what they can do. What are they capable of? And when I watched Rylan's film last year at App State, she was so deadly at mid-range, and she hit a lot of mid-range shots, but her field goal percentage is amazing.
She's been great this season and shooting, like I said, the best of her career. All right, we need to take a timeout, but we're going to come back and talk about your 2-0 week and what's ahead of a homestand continuing this week at the home center. And while we know you're enjoying your time here at River Street Ale House, make sure to check out Town Tavern Blowing Rock for a great dining experience. They're open for lunch, dinner, and later have 19 flat-screen TVs for you to catch the game. They also boast the largest outdoor dining area in the high country, so make sure to stop by Town Tavern Blowing Rock on your next trip to the high country. Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, continues right after this.
Adrenaline fuel. I make my move. I rise to the rim, windmill, smash, lights, flash. Then glide back down to a thunderous sound. Slam, dunk.
This performance was brought to you by the legendary Ford Bronco SUV, celebrating the bold and confident spirits that play on the court and off-road. See your Carolina Ford dealer today. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
For over 60 years, Daniel Boone Inn has been serving Boone and the High Country delicious family-style meals to take you back to your grandma's table. Whether it's our family-style dinner with our signature fried chicken and country ham biscuits served with traditional southern vegetables, or our classic southern breakfast with such favorites as scrambled eggs, local country ham, biscuits and gravy, pancakes, and more, you're sure to feel right at home at the Daniel Boone Inn. So be sure to stop by in pregame, postgame, or let us prepare your next tailgate at the Rock.
We'll have more Mountaineer Talk right after these local messages on the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
Triple T Pumping has served the residents and businesses of the High Country with the highest quality septic pumping for more than 20 years. Triple T Pumping services Watauga, Ashe, and Avery County and specializes in both residential and commercial septic and grease pumping and Porta-John rentals. Triple T also has restroom trailers to rent out for special events. To learn more about all of Triple T's pumping services and to get on their schedule, make sure to visit TripleTpumping.com or by giving them a call at 828-262-5745. Triple T Pumping's proud partner of App State Athletics.
Tired of sitting on the sidelines because of nagging shoulder, hip, knee, or back pain? Let App Ortho get you back in the game. Offering advanced treatments for shoulder, hip, knee, and back pain, App Ortho offers same-day appointments and telehealth visits. App Ortho is also the official sports medicine and orthopedic provider for App State Athletics. Stop sitting on the sidelines and call App Ortho today. 828-386-2663 or visit apprhs.org.
Welcome back to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. Now for more App State Hoops talk, here's Matt Present.
All right, continuing our conversation with Alaura Sharp here on Mountaineer Talk. And Coach, you walked in with a Kansas City Chiefs jacket today. You grew up in Kansas. I would think you've been a fan your entire life. What is it like right now going for a three-peat in a couple weeks? It's just such an incredible fan base to see from afar.
I love it. I haven't always been proud to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan. It was a long time coming. When I was younger, there was no one at Arrowhead Stadium. The tickets were really, really cheap. Now it's a whole different story. What Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes have done with the program is awesome. I love watching the fourth quarters because of how they manage and their defense dictates how those games go. And it's pretty fun being a Chiefs fan. Last year, I say this all the time, I had a great year. I'm a Celtics fan. They won the World Championship. I'm a Chiefs fan, and then my team went to the NCAA tournament. So hopefully I have another great year of sports.
Let's repeat that last part. How about it?
Yeah.
You had a great week, 2-0, and it starts with a win over Old Dominion. And I know that you didn't like how things finished at their place the week prior. How pleased were you with the bounce-back effort and the adjustments that your team made second time around?
Really pleased. They took the game really personal. We liked how we played for 3 quarters. We didn't love how we closed out the game on the road. We thought there was a lot of controllable things that we didn't control, starting with our defensive rebounding and fouls. Usually we defensive rebound well. We don't send teams to the free throw line, and we did that a whole bunch in the end of the Old Dominion game. And to be able to bounce back, hold them 3 offensive rebounds under their average, we kept them off the free throw line, and we beat a really good basketball team at home.
And then 2 days later, you're right back to it. Georgia Southern comes to the home center, and it's a tight ball game down to the wire. What goes into being able to pull out a close game and hang on at the end? Because it's not always going to be easy start to finish.
Yeah. I think sometimes it's hard when you have an emotional win like we had on Thursday to be able to come back and handle a game like Georgia Southern. But what I really liked about our team is we didn't play great when you look at just the numbers. We shot the ball really well. We defended really well. We rebounded really well. But we played really, really hard. I go back to, I know we had a bunch of turnovers and stuff, but I go back to there's one possession where there's a loose ball that rolled the entire length down the floor. One player on the other team went after the ball, and we had 3 players diving for that loose ball. And I just thought, when I was breaking the film down yesterday, I just thought that's why we won the game. We played really hard. We still played with a strong will to win. And the great thing is we've been knocking our free throws down to complete and close out games. And like Rylan Moffitt talked about, on Mondays we've been doing the 25 minutes of workouts, and then we're doing about 20 minutes of situational hoops, and we've gotten a lot of carryover from that.
What are some of those situational things you practice? Because certainly there's certain elements of a game that are somewhat predictable, but then there's other games where you have no idea what you're going to expect.
Yeah, sometimes we work on things that hurt us the time before. Old Dominion, we spent a lot of time on defensive rebounding at the free throw line, so that was something that we worked on. We worked on getting the ball in bounds from the sideline because Old Dominion, we couldn't get it in twice, so that's something that we worked on last Sunday. The other thing is, with the advance rule in women's basketball, sometimes you lean too much on advancing the basketball. So just like on Saturday, I think I had 3 timeouts. There was about 45 seconds. I called one, didn't call one, called one. And so we worked on what are we going to do to get the ball in bounds and go the length of the floor when we don't want to use a timeout. Today we worked on kind of a similar scenario. The other team ties it up, tie game. We want to take the last shot. I don't want a timeout to advance, and then you've got to stay in the half court trying to dribble the clock out, so how to use clock. So there's so many scenarios, and you asked Dustin about watching basketball. I enjoy watching the SEC and the ACC that all play on Sundays. I only like to watch the fourth quarter so I can come up with ideas. Okay, we don't have something for that. We do have something for that, and just think it reminds you of scenarios that you've got to talk about and teach.
The advance rule that you're talking about, taking a timeout at the end of the game to move the basketball to midcourt, it's 2 or 3 years now that they've had that rule. What's kind of been your evolution in that cost-benefit analysis of saving timeouts, advancing the ball, and I'm sure some of it is opponent-dependent?
It is. The more athletic the team, the more you sometimes want to stay off the sideline because of how well they can switch out and put somebody up on the ball. And, just like today we worked on, do you foul when you're up 3? It depends on how well do you defensive rebound the ball at the free throw line. So those are things that we worked on today too. But, so many things can happen at the end. I love the advance rule. I think it's fun. It keeps you in a lot of games. I mean, it used to be 0.4, 1.6. It took a miracle. Now you're one good execution away from getting a really good shot in the half court. So it's been fun and really grown me as a coach because I think my first year, it's been a little bit longer than a couple years, but when I got to Presbyterian, that was the first time that we had the advanced rule because I didn't do it as a junior college head coach. So it's been something that I've gotten more comfortable and confident doing.
Well, Coach, another big week upcoming at home. Thursday night, 6:30 against Louisiana, and then Saturday at 3:30 against Georgia State. Best of luck and continued success to you.
Thank you so much.
Alaura Sharp joining us tonight here on Mountaineer Talk. We will come back in a moment, wrap up the show. We mentioned the games this week. They are sponsored. Thursday night's game against Louisiana, sponsored by Hampton Inn, and Saturday's game against Georgia State, presented by App State University Housing. Thank you to Hampton Inn and App State University Housing for your continued support of App State Athletics. We will continue with Mountaineer Talk right after this.
More than the sum of its parts, in sports and in life. At Blue Ridge Energy, we share the same commitment to excellence as the Appalachian State men's and women's basketball teams. That's why we'll never stop working to provide the energy solutions your family needs and the community deserves. Blue Ridge Energy is proud to be part of the community, proud to be part of App Nation, and proud to partner with App State. Together, we're powering a brighter future. Go Mountaineers!
Mountaineer Talk is back in 60 seconds after these local messages. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Catawba Valley Engineering and Testing is an App State alumni-owned full-service geotechnical engineering, environmental, construction materials testing, and special inspections consulting firm based in Hickory. Maintaining pace with the latest technology and developments allows us to provide cost-effective services. The high number of returning clients reflect their confidence in our staff and our ability to provide quality results. Visit us at cbet.net to learn more. Catawba Valley Engineering and Testing is a proud partner of App State Athletics.
All right, wrapping things up here on Mountaineer Talk. App State Athletics would like to extend a special thank you to this week's game sponsors. Wednesday night's men's game against Old Dominion, sponsored by Pepsi, and then Saturdays against Georgia State, presented by Window World. Thank you to Pepsi and Window World for your continued support of App State Athletics. Busy week at home, 4 games to get to. Both teams in third place in the standings, certainly hoping for a big finish. Thanks to Connor Riley and Andrew Allison back inside our Learfield studios. Thanks to Matty Yates as well here at River Street Ale House. Again, a busy week of hoops. The men tied with Marshall for third place in the standings. App State and Marshall play in 2 of the final 3 regular season games, so that's going to be a big-time finish. And the women, again, also tied for third place. They're off to their best start since the 2021 or 2011-2012 season, and that team had a heck of a finish. Started 12-1 in Sun Belt play, or I guess SoCon play at that point. Finished as regular season champions. 27-7 overall in the season, and 17-3 in Sun Belt play. So a terrific season for them back in 13 years ago, and certainly this year's team is also poised to do some damage. 7-2 on the season so far, so we hope you check them out as well. Matt President saying so long. We will see you next week back here at River Street Ale House for Mountaineer Talk.
Listening to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health.